Hi, I'm Jess.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
And welcome to Rediscover, a space where we engage in authentic conversation about life as we grow through it and whatever comes up along the way.
Nothing is off the table here. We talk about the real stuff, the hard stuff, the beautiful moments, and everything under the sun.
Around here, we're always rediscovering, sharing empowering stories, and connecting our hearts and minds with every facet of life.
We invite you to be part of the conversation as we broaden our perspectives, release limitations, and grow to create our most joyful and fulfilling lives together.
So grab a cup of something cozy as we rediscover all the best parts of you
And bring a little magic into your day.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jess.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
And welcome back to Rediscover. We're back.
We're back. I know, it feels like, it has it been a month since we recorded the first? It doesn't feel like it.
Maybe not.
Time is moving. I don't know.
It's been a really weird start to the year.
It's been I know we said that before, but it's definitely gotten weirder. But I don't know. I feel like a sense of solidarity, like, given that you and I are having these kind of parallel experiences and we get to have space held for us to talk about them and hopefully space for anyone else who's going through something similar to relate to it. I know we were talking about, like, trying to slow down and focus on, like, rest and healing and recovery last month, and it seems to have carried over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although I'm getting a little spring fever about everything.
Oh, definitely. I just saw something where someone was like, my winter personality, my summer personality, and I was like, ooh, summer. I forgot about that. But again, that's me not being present, so.
True.
But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like, well, it's February, so I feel like when it comes to about February, when I am in Buffalo, this is when I start to get a little bit antsy for warmer weather. I don't feel quite like my fully evolved self. Like, my hair feels a little drier, my skin's a little drier. I'm like really cold. I'm wearing like really big fluffy clothes all the time, which are comfortable and I prefer, but also I don't know, I kind of forget what's going on, like, underneath all that.
Yeah,
you know. So
that hibernation bod.
Yeah. So anyway.
I feel that. Yeah, I think it's been weird for me because I'm going back and forth between Orlando and here.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting, like, a taste of summer, and then I'm back to winter, and then back and forth. So, like, last week I was in Orlando, and it was literally gorgeous weather the whole week. Like,
that's so fun. I miss it.
I was going for, like, walks in the evenings after work in, like, you know, shorts and, like, a light jacket or something, and it was comfortable because it was, like, 68 degrees, and, like, all the beautiful sunsets I got to see every evening, and all these things that I kind of took for granted because they were just my reality for so many years. And I think it was a good thing because it felt very restorative, and also, like, I was able to reappreciate those things. And kind of, like, put some fresh eyes on all of those things that just were my day-to-day and still are my day-to-day. But then I come back here and I'm like, okay, time to put the coat back on.
Yeah.
Time to haul out the blankets again. And it's just very disconcerting to do this, like, summer-winter flip all the time. And I think spring to me has always been this, like, kind of negligible season because growing up here, you know, like, we don't really get spring. It's, like, muddy and chilly and rainy.
But then you get that one glimmer day that's so lovely, and you're like, I am new.
And I think we had that day yesterday.
Like, oh, yeah, it was beautiful. And the day before, too. Yeah.
I had, like, the windows open.
Yep.
The dogs were, like, running around in the backyard, and I was watching them, like, they were loving it. And I was like, oh, my gosh, wow. Like, it was sunny. It was beautiful. And I was like, this is the day that makes me spring feverish. Like, the day where I'm like, ugh, this place is so wonderful when the weather's not.
There's something about the air here, too, that I've noticed is when you get the day like that in the spring, or you get the, like, sister day of that in the fall, you know, where it's kind of that middle ground temperature. There's something about the air that makes me feel like I'm breathing deeper and my soul feels alive, and I just want to sit outside and, like, the contrast of the winter and the summer and those glimmer days of, you know, spring or fall that make you appreciate it, though, because if it was always summer or always winter, like, yes, there's benefits, of course, to having, I mean, we've both lived in Florida.
Right.
You still are half there. But
Right.
there's benefits to that. But the appreciation, like when I stepped away at least, and I have, you know, the back and forth with the seasons, I appreciate it so much more, like on a deeper level. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was just so normal to me. Like I kind of lost its, you know, sparkle a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely remember, especially when I first moved to Orlando, like a year or two in or something, just being like, ugh, it's sunny
I'm so hot.
and hot again.
Yeah.
Because it, especially coming from a place that has 4 distinctive seasons, it was sort of like, oh, wow, time just like kind of trudges along and there's really no difference between like this month to this month. And I think the longer I lived there, the more I started to notice the nuances in the weather that told me, like, you know, in early spring, we get all these beautiful, clear, sunny, like, big, bright blue sky days. Mm-hmm. And then rainy season starts, and it's like, oh, we get that afternoon thunderstorm that everyone looks forward to. And so there's different things that, you know, come and go that sort of delineate time. And we do get, you know, some colder weather in the winter, but nothing so much as here. So I think I appreciate both now because I'm living in both. So I'm just trying to find the thing that I like the most about whatever it is. And here, when we do get those sunny days and those like glimmer of springtime days this time of year, I'm trying to just like revel in that shit like so much.
Yeah.
Like it was 52 degrees at 9 a.m. yesterday morning. And I was like, all right,
yes.
that's kind of chilly. Like if it were 52 in Florida, I'd be like, ooh, where's my winter coat? But here it feels, I know exactly what you're saying about the air and I wish that I could describe it aptly, but like it feels different. And I like flung the like sliding glass door open to the back porch and was like, let the fresh air in, turn the heat off.
Yeah.
Like I just was like, let's air out the house, like let it.
Yes, the house like smells good.
Yes,
I don't know what it
smells
is.
like fresh and earthy because that like sort of like snow melting, like the ground is damp, so that like it's almost like petrichor, like the smell after it rains. It's almost like that, but like sort of on this like tailwind of hope.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Like that's the smell, and I don't know how we can bottle that up and put it in a candle, but like somebody please try.
You said that so passionately, and like I wish I had it on video. Oh. But it's true. I totally agree. But that's what's keeping us going right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, today it's, you know, another.
It's a little gloomy today.
A 40-degree.
I'm having such a like, I don't know. I feel like I've been trying to be so productive, and today was one of those days where I got one thing done before this. I was doom scrolling a lot, and I was just like, I don't know.
That makes sense, though,
like,
considering
the
last, like, 4 days have been sunny and, like, invigorating.
And I've been so productive.
Yeah, and then today was the first day in that stretch that it's been cloudy and gray, and I noticed, like, I yawned throughout the day so much today. The last, like, 4 days, I was like, I don't even need to finish my coffee. Like, I am good. My energy's been great. Like, everyone that I've encountered has been in a better mood. I think we just don't realize, and by we, I don't mean me, because I am acutely aware of this about myself, but, like, I think we just don't realize how much the weather and our surroundings and our circumstances and the environment that we exist in affect everything else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, energetically, right, we're all one. So, like, we are nature.
Yeah,
nature is us. So, of course, we have our conscious awareness and we can choose something different. But unless you're, like intentionally doing that every moment of the day to, like, reroute yourself, the weather kind of can sway you along a little bit.
It's like a tree.
Yeah.
I feel like a naked tree in the winter, just like skeletal, just waiting for like the moment when you feel like you can thrive again, and that's when the trees start to bud and bloom. And then in the summer they're just like living it up, and then autumn comes around and they're like, that was fun, I'm ready for something new. I can shed this personality.
On to the next
thing.
Honestly, like, I think now that I'm older, I am absolutely astounded at how fast the trees go through their cycles of different seasons, because as a kid I grew up here as a child, and like a year seemed like a long time, right? So it's like, oh, the trees have so much time to like do what they got to do. As an adult, a year is so quick now that it's like, oh my God, how are all of these leaves going to grow in time for summer?
They might not make it.
And then they have to turn colors and fall off, and then we have to wait for them again.
No.
It's just like, I don't know. I think that just hit me recently. I'm like, oh my God, trees kind of go through a cycle pretty fast, but
I feel like I panic in a similar way about myself, though. Like, am I going to have time to do all of these things that I need to do before this deadline?
fair.
And then what happens? Like, they do.
I guess it just happens.
They do bloom, and they do change color, and their leaves do fall off, and like it all just happens when it's supposed to, and nobody really thinks about it because
And the trees don't worry about it.
No, they're
and
like,
I think that's a good lesson.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, what if I didn't worry about these things and just let them happen because they get done?
yeah.
We're learning a lot about trees.
The trees are productive. We're just drawing a parallel between ourselves and the trees because we're looking outside at bare trees. Although, that one looks like it has some little buds on it up there,
I'm optimistic.
like above the roof line.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Guys, spring is here already.
February 16th.
It's
you
already
heard it
happening.
here first.
I saw this thing the other day. I think it was Step Out Buffalo. Shout out to them.
One of our faves, really.
They're really great. It was like the stages of Buffalo winter. I'm going to pull it up right now. There are actually 11 seasons. Winter, Fool's Spring, we are here.
Yeah, full spring.
Second winter, Spring of Deception. Third winter, Mud Season. Actual spring, Summer, Fall's Fall. Second summer, actual fall. And like,
That's so
it's just
freaking true.
the most accurate description of what it's like to live here.
I know, but I kind of love it. I don't know. I'm never bored. There's just always something going on.
Yeah. And I also think I think about the weather more a lot here. Because again, like in Florida, it's like, oh, it's sunny again today.
It's a conversation topic.
But here, like, everyone's got to talk about the weather.
I mean, clearly we've been talking for 12 minutes about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, now that we've really gone for a deep dive in the weather,
What's the weather like in your neck of the woods?
I know Texas has really been going through it, so shout out to y'all in Texas.
Y'all. Speaking of Texas and like places, are you planning to leave Buffalo at any point in like the next, like between now and like actual spring?
Well, at this current point, I'll tell you what I'm thinking, but this could really change.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm putting you on the spot here. I'm just curious.
Oh my God, no. So I have like so many travel ideas and opportunities that I really can't take at the moment because of, did I tell you I don't have my job anymore?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of wondered about that because I was like, I'll come over after work. And you were like, I'm free all day. And I was like, maybe she took the day off. I don't know.
So,
okay.
I guess I'm saying this officially on
13 minutes in.
We had to talk about the weather first. So, unfortunately, my position was eliminated for my job.
Jess.
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because I'm just, I'm taking it as a very, very clear sign that I need to pivot my life.
Okay. I mean, this was like sort of something that you had thought might happen.
Yes.
So you were already taking those steps.
Yes. So and I mean, this is happening if you look at if you scroll on TikTok, look online, there's a lot of positions being eliminated right now.
We are entering a recession.
Yes. So not the most fun I've ever had trying to figure that out, but also, I don't know, I have this really, I don't know, I have a deep piece about it, but a lot of fear like on top of that, and then like more trust. I don't know. It's a lot to really emotionally kind of take on, but yeah, so at the moment I'm trying to figure that out, and I'm going all in on my blog, on my socials, on my ebooks.
I love that for you.
My first ebook came out.
Yes, plug it. Plug it right here.
Yes, my first ebook came out. It's all about Paris, which is so much fun. This is the first one I'm doing. I intend to do kind of a series of ebooks and itineraries of our different nomad life locations, and it's all word of mouth recommendations. So everything we did in the entire month we were there, I have it listed out in this book, and you can take that and run with it. There's going to be more than enough to do if you're just going to Paris, for a couple days, for a week, and it's I love it. I'm so proud of it. I think it's just such a great resource because I know when I travel, like I want to ask every one of my friends who have been there, I'm like, what did you do? Like what stood out to you? Because if you have a memory of something and you can tell a story about it or you remember, oh, this dish was really good at this restaurant, that means it made an impact on you and that means it might be worth visiting. So that's why I love word of mouth recommendations. That's why I want to make these ebooks. And I'm just so excited to have the first one out in the world. I've been thinking about this for like a year, so.
You really have. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
I just want to like commend you for a second about like how I know that obviously it comes across that way to like me and to everyone listening, and that there have certainly been, you know, probably ebbs and flows to this whole process.
Oh yeah, like I kind of just talked about it so briefly here, but there's been a lot of emotion behind the scenes and a lot of, I don't know, a lot of uncertainty, sadness, like a lot of things. Yeah. So
I'm not commending you because you seem like you're fine.
Oh yeah.
Because I know that like, first of all, we don't want to commend like, you know, putting on a front when we should be holding space for how you're actually feeling. But I want to commend you for like how much you've like seen this as like, okay, this is an opportunity and a challenge, and it's hard and it's exciting, and two things can be true.
Yes.
But you're embracing it as a chance to like do this thing that you've been talking about and dreaming about and scheming about for so long. And I just like so wholeheartedly believe that you can do this. And
thank you.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh,
I'm very emotional lately. But like I like feel it in my bones that like if anyone can like be the self-made person and the entrepreneur and the person who turns their passion into their life's work, like it is you. And it has always been you. Like you have had this in you since I've known you. And like I remember we would be at Disney and we'd be like, we're going to write a trip report. And it would be like one of those ones where like you wrote a chapter and I wrote a chapter or whatever.
Oh my God.
And we would get on the bus leaving the park, and this girl would sit down in the seat, get her bag and pull out her trip journal and spend the whole bus ride writing in her trip journal.
I just saw those the other day and I'm like, oh my God, I have this whole collection.
I don't know where mine are. But I would sit down and be like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. And I'm like, I don't know. I would like jot a few things down maybe, but I was like looking out the window, falling asleep on the bus. Like I was just like, I have no energy in me right now to do this. And she was just diligent about it. And I just wasn't as diligent. I mean, I got it done, but it wasn't something that I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. Like I wasn't as self-motivated about it, especially when I was like in vacation mode. But you've always had this propensity for like, you just keep driving, you just keep going, you just keep pushing, you keep trying new things. And like I can see how much care and thought and intentionality you put into everything that you make. And I think that like not only the thing that we talked about you having such a cool perspective, having lived somewhere for a while, but not like as a, you know, you're not a resident of that country. You aren't Parisian. You just are an expat who moved to Paris for a month, experienced all these incredible things, and now has so much to say about it. And it's just such a cool niche that you get to fill.
Yeah.
And not just there, but like everywhere that you guys have gone. I'm so excited about it.
Thank
and
you.
I think Paris is a great start because who hasn't watched Emily in Paris and isn't dreaming about it? We were like wine tipsy on Valentine's Day and we're like laying around in the living room and Anthony's like, I want to take you to Paris. I'm like, how random was that? Okay.
It's very romantic.
I was like, well, I know someone who just published an ebook.
Honestly, it's
for when
ready.
We start planning our travel.
Yes. No, I'll put the ebook link in the show notes for you guys. But yeah, I think what you were saying, like I write in the ebook that we're not quite locals and we're not quite short-term vacationers. So it is this really in-between niche of like living there for a short but long-ish period of time. And I think that is really cool because you've still got that tourist spark to you and like that passion and excitement.
Yeah.
And you do find some off the beaten path places, but you also are so excited to go for the classic spots. But
yeah, you're allowed to be a tourist, but you are also living residentially. You have to go grocery shopping and you have to like figure out where to get your mail and things like that. But you also have the opportunity to experience all of those like landmarks and destinations that make that place, you know, a destination in and of itself. And I think it's really cool. It's a cool balance that you strike because, like you said, like it's that tourist spark that's still there. Like,
Yeah.
you're there long enough to settle in, but not so long that like those things kind of become just run of the mill. Because how many times have we spoken about rediscovering, you know, different parts of Orlando when we were living there, or
Right.
here in Buffalo, because they're just things that we take for granted because they're in our backyard. But when you take the time and you set aside, you know, the space to encounter them again and rediscover them, it's sort of like you feel like a tourist in your own neighborhood. And I feel like that's the feeling that you get from this.
Exactly.
It's cool.
So
I'm really cool.
Super thrilled about it. So if you guys are interested in just reading about Paris, daydreaming about Paris, or if you're going, definitely check out the book. I'm so excited. But other than that, yeah, I think just to kind of encapsulate what I'm moving into at the moment, and I'm sure this will evolve over time, but we have the ebooks coming out. I have blog posts that are on my website, The Road Just Traveled, and I'm posting a lot on social media, of course. So any interaction of any sort is so helpful. Any like, comment, share, save, anything.
Yeah.
I appreciate endlessly, and I hope to continue to grow that. And yeah, Instagram and TikTok and the ebooks, and I'm looking to do some more like brand collaborations, maybe even partner with some, you know, local Airbnbs for photos, content, anything like that. So we're still coming together. If anybody has any sort of, I don't know, freelance opportunities that fit that, I'm ready and excited to kind of get out there and do that. So, or if, you know, if anybody wants to sponsor a Rediscover episode, let us know. And I'm also, I mean, by the time this episode is out, it should be out, but I also am going to be starting my own travel podcast as well.
Woo, woo.
Which is very exciting. And that's going to be all nomad life focused and a little bit more in depth, because I get a lot of questions about how do you do this and what was this like and what's your process when you're traveling full time in XYZ. So I wanted to kind of take that opportunity to break down like what it was actually like behind the scenes and go more, I don't know, sit down and tell stories about it, because I think there's only so much that I was able to share throughout the year, like through pictures and videos. And there's just, I think during phase 2, whenever we do go back out there, I would love to get a little bit more involved in like telling the story at the time. And if you guys have any suggestions or ideas on how I could kind of convey that a little bit more consistently to make you feel like you're really there, like always shoot me a DM. I'm really excited about that. I love those storytelling, like vlog type accounts, you know?
Yeah.
So...
yeah, I love
anyways, that's kind of my whole encapsulation
wow.
right now.
So much has happened in the last month.
We've got a lot going on, so...
yeah.
And I think I am... I don't know. I think it's just been kind of a huge pivot, and I am learning to step into those shoes of the entrepreneur role. And it brings up a lot of stuff for you, you know, that you got to look at and be like, all right, like... I'm doing this, and, you know, dancing with your fear and going towards your passions. Like, I don't know, that whole visual of, you know, our old Disney trips and being so passionate about that. Like, I have literally been obsessed with documenting travel since I was, like, little.
Before I knew you.
Yeah. So I think it's exciting. I don't know. I'm really excited about it. So that's that.
Wow. So
thought I'd tell you on the pod. So
yeah.
I could have
an organic reaction.
A real. See, now I'm gonna wait to tell you big things till we're live.
Then I'm gonna be so apprehensive. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh God, what are you gonna drop?
What
today?
bomb is
Just
she gonna
kidding.
drop on me
If it's
today?
really important, I won't do that.
Yeah.
But.
No, it's okay. It's good. It makes for good show
Storytelling.
Storytelling. All of that. Yeah, that's wow.
Surprise everybody.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Jess Incorporated.
Yeah. The road just traveled.
It's going to be an LLC.
Yeah, that's the goal of 2023.
I love that. LLC in 2023.
Oh, yes.
Just keep repeating that mantra to yourself.
Yeah.
I like to come up with like a good rhyme of a mantra because then it's easy for me to remember and then I can just yell it at myself in the mirror.
Yeah. And I guess it's not that hard to set up an LLC either. I just need to do it.
Yeah, and I think that'd be cool too, you know, throughout this process, like, and we can use Rediscover for that too, but like kind of as you encounter things that are new or interesting, you know, speaking to them here.
Yeah.
Because like part of the goal of this space is to like empower other people, and I think there's definitely people listening who are like, oh, I have this thing that I want to do and make it my own and, you know, turn my passions or creativity into, you know, a livelihood, but I keep getting hung up on this one thing or this fear of this thing, and
yeah,
it'll be cool to see all of this unfold. I feel like we're just right here at the beginning.
I can't wait to listen back on this in a few
Chapter
years
1.
and be like, oh my God, this is crazy. But
I love that. Yeah.
I don't know. I think one of the biggest things I'm learning too is somebody told me this and they were like, you know, you can feel whatever you're feeling. You can be, you know, scared, you can be excited, you can be whatever, but like it can still all happen and it can still all work out regardless. Like if you have something negative going on that's like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. Like it's really just a thought and it's just propelling through that and just doing one thing at a time. And if you keep showing up, taking one step at a time, whatever the aligned action is in that moment, like inevitably you're going to get somewhere. And I think that's why I don't have one clear defined end goal at the moment, because it's so open and I'm so open for letting it evolve into what it wants to be. And I'm just putting out what feels really in alignment right now, which is the Paris itinerary and the next ebook that's coming in a couple. Actually, will it be out by the time we post this? When are we posting this? In March?
Beginning first Tuesday in March.
First Tuesday in March.
First
so yeah,
Tuesday
it'll
of
be
every month.
Oh my gosh, the Edinburgh ebook will be out by now for all about Scotland. Actually, it's actually called Your Bucket List Guide to Scotland.
I love that.
Because it's all about all the day trips we did, all about the Edinburgh stuff we learned about, all the Harry Potter filming location, or no, not filming locations, inspiration points.
Love.
So yeah. Anyways, that was my other blog. Didn't know this was going to turn into
No,
a
I love
pitch,
it. Okay,
but
so recap. The Paris and Scotland ebooks are out now.
yes.
Go get them. Go find them. You can find, I'm assuming, links in your Instagram.
Yes, and we'll put them in the show notes.
Perfect.
But they're always going to be on my website under the shop tab, theroadjusttraveled.com.
That's traveled with one L.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And yeah, and we're just going to be...
I'm just going to be over here waving my freaking pom-poms.
Yes, we're going to be hanging out on
Steven and I.
Instagram, TikTok. I know, you guys are my cheerleaders, so... I'm excited, though. I think one of the hardest things was... Because... You know, the job that I had, it was wonderful and it was perfect for what I needed at the time. But there were so many days where I was just sitting there and I'm like, I'm giving so much energy to this and I have so much I want to give and so much creative, like, so many creative ideas and visions that I'm like dying to put out there, but I am so exhausted at the end of the day that I don't have the capacity to do this.
Yeah.
And you know, and like I don't know, and I'm excited to be able to have the opportunity to do that, and I just need to trust that it's going to work out.
Yeah.
And
it will.
Even though I cannot see how yet. Guess that's not my job. That is
not
the universe's job.
It's true.
So we're just taking a deep breath, and yeah, so if you wanted an answer as to what I'm doing this year, it's that. But
I think this started with me asking you if you had any travel plans.
I know,
for
it's
the
so funny.
months.
So, I mean, anyways, so circling back to that, the plan, The idea would be, I mean, my 30th birthday is in May, and Steven's is in June.
Gasp.
So, I know, I'm friggin' turning 30. That's insane.
I love that for you.
Honestly, I think my 30s are going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, there's something about your 30s that are just like, you know yourself a little bit more. You don't care as much about stupid shit. Like,
I already feel like I'm getting to that point.
Yeah, no, I do too. And especially the past, like, couple years, I just feel like I've up-leveled in, like, as a human, you know? Like,
You're
I think
self-actualizing.
Yeah.
You're coming into your own homeostasis and, like, this is who I am, and every experience that I have will be derived from not what I think other people expect from me or how I think I should be experiencing or internalizing things, but just from what, like, feels optimal for me.
Yeah, exactly.
You just stop looking externally as much, I think, like, the older you get.
Yeah, and I think that's, I don't think I realized how much I looked externally and was in the comparison trap because I'm a sneaky one because I thought I didn't do that. Like, I thought I was just like, I do my own thing. I don't care. But, like, I actually really internalized doing that. I just never, like, acknowledged it or realized I was doing it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just being part of the Instagram generation or whatever.
Yeah.
But, so it's just interesting. So in my ripe age of 30 years old, I am excited to just kind of want to put my head down and, like, do my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, but as far as travel plans go, no, I mean, I would love to do something for my birthday. It's my 30th birthday. Like,
you have to.
I'm a birthday, like, celebrator.
Yeah.
Like, that is my thing. So if we could, you know, still follow through on the dream to go to Costa Rica, that is what I would want to do if I could choose. So if it's in the cards, that is what I would love to do. Like, we'd love to just do, you know, the month that we had originally planned to do in February. We were supposed to leave in 2 days from this very moment, but that's okay.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm not packed, so I can't go.
Yeah, sorry. I don't want to pack under pressure.
I know, but yeah, I don't know. That would be really, really fun.
Yeah.
And then my cousin's getting married in July, so we would come back here. And then by July, who knows what the heck the ball game is going to be. So
We could be out here playing cricket.
we could.
And that would be so weird because we do not know how to do that.
No, and it's such 2023 is a mystery. That rhymes too. So anyways,
Mystery LLC in 2023.
yeah. So
Yeah.
lots of fun, but yeah, I miss it a lot. I really, really would love to go back, but I'm also trying to not, like, feel like I'm waiting for something or, like, I'm in this energy of desperation. Like, I need to go. Like, I don't need to.
Right.
I am very, very content. I like, look around. I'm like, I have everything I need right now. And there's a lot of things to love right now and enjoy right now. So if I can just kind of sit in that and be content with that, that's my goal. It honestly is, like, I don't feel like I need to be killing myself to, like, work harder to get there. I'm like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen at the right time because everything happens at the right time. Literally, always.
Right.
So it's like the tree. Do I need to worry about it, or can I just let my leaves grow?
You're going to bud and you're going to bloom, and those leaves are going to grow when they're meant to.
Yes, so
The tree.
that's where I am.
I love that.
But anyways.
I feel like being a Taurus and a 7 must be a very dichotomous thing for you.
Yeah, imagine having
I
a Sagittarius moon.
I hear it in, like, the way that you're like, I don't want to be, like, trying to go do the next thing. I want to just be, like, content, because I think part of you feels content when you're content. Like, you feel good when you feel grounded, but you also at the same time deal with this, like, feeling, you know, this motivation toward, like, okay, but what's next? You know?
I'm the Taurus traveler.
Yeah.
You've got your Taurus side of your homebody comforts, like safety, and you've got this traveler Sagittarius Enneagram 7 who's, like, bonkers off the wall. I got to go to the next thing. And I literally never realized I lived in such a dichotomy because it was so normal to me. I mean, we did this in high school too. It was like, when's my next Disney trip? Oh my God, I can't wait till social studies is over and I can leave and go do the next musical and blah, blah, blah. Like,
yes.
Like literally.
Everything was a countdown.
Everything. And I'm like, oh my God, I just was doing that. And I don't know. Now that I'm almost 30, I'm like, well, things are going to happen. They're just going to happen when they're supposed to. So what if I took a different internal approach that I've always took my entire life?
Right.
And
what if I just chilled for a sec?
Yeah, like what bad thing would happen if today I just didn't worry about when I was going to travel next? Or
nothing.
Right? Yeah. Like,
nothing
just
whatsoever.
Today, 24 hours, literally don't have to worry about it.
Just don't even think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, whoa. Crazy.
Yeah. I think it's
that's
interesting.
Being present, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and doing that a little bit every day. Maybe it's only for an hour or 5 minutes, but, like, that's more than I used to do. So that, to me, is growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying is growth.
Yeah.
Even trying to do the thing, even if you don't do the thing perfectly the first time, it's still growth.
Yeah.
I think that one way that I've sort of tried to combat that, because I kind of, though I am not a 7, I am a Gemini. And I am
these Geminis, man.
These freaking Geminis. And I am a 1, and in health I look like and act like a 7. God, so
that's a dichotomy
this is
too.
restless energy too. Restless energy that wants to feel content, that, like, my motivation is to derive order in the chaos that I create for myself. Mm-hmm. So it is this literal dichotomy of, like, I'm creating chaos. My existence is chaotic. But I need to, like, pull all of that in and, like, stop the tornado from spinning and just bring everything back to, you know, homeostasis. So it's not like an external thing. It's all really internal. And I think that that has definitely been the source of some of that, like, countdown energy that we had. And
countdown energy. Ooh, we gotta release that.
Yeah. And I think one way that I've gotten around it is I used to say, you know, if someone was coming to town to visit, or I had a fun weekend planned or a trip or something, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait. And the reality was that I can wait.
Yeah.
Like, this weekend will come. You know, the sun will go down and the moon will come up, and then that process will repeat, and then it will be Saturday, and whatever fun plan I had, whatever trip or whatever, is going to pan out. But saying I can't wait means that I'm only thinking about getting to that point, and whatever great thing might happen between now and then, it's like I'm just totally closed off to it because I'm not even here right now. I'm there. So I've just stopped saying I can't wait. I slip up sometimes, but for the most part, I've really, like, I will type it in a text message and then I will, like, backspace it and be like, nope.
I was literally just gonna say you said this in an earlier episode, and
yeah, I think
I literally do that now.
Yeah,
like,
good.
I am so overly conscious of the saying I can't wait, and I have deleted it before from messages because I'm like, well, I can wait. Like, I'm so excited for. I try to say, like, I'm excited for him.
Like, I'm excited to see you, or I'm looking forward to this thing, or it should be a great time, or something like that.
It's gonna be so fun when it happens in its perfect time.
Right.
But there's a lot of time between now and then. And
right.
I don't know. I feel like there's just so much precious life to live in the interim, and because I don't want to miss it. I feel like not that I've missed a lot of my life, because I wouldn't say that by any means, but I think I could have enjoyed it on a deeper, more enriching level. But then again, I was exactly where I was supposed to be at that time. So, like, it's just a matter of, am I going to do that moving forward versus looking back?
Yeah, so. And it's a high, right? And it's a coping mechanism, too. Like, if we're having a hard day, or like,
dopamine.
You know, thank God I've got this thing to look forward to, or it would be harder to get through today.
I always have those, you know, we talked about this last episode, but, like, those rose-colored glasses looking back at any point in time. And like, aw, that was so nice. And it was, like, all these other things going on.
Yeah.
But,
I think now I'm learning to look back at sort of... I said this to someone the other day. a friend of mine was telling me a story about someone that was saying something about being nostalgic for somewhere that they had been very recently. And
like a place,
yeah,
you mean?
like,
Yeah.
oh, I miss it. Like, I have such good memories and whatever. I feel so nostalgic about this. And he was like, yeah, it just seemed weird to me, like, to be nostalgic about something that just happened or whatever. I'm like, I'm nostalgic about stuff that happened 2 days ago. Like, I definitely have, whether, I don't think it's been intentional, but I've started to do this thing where I sort of, like, romanticize the not so distant past.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, me too. I'll be like, 2 weeks ago, this was so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God, why was I so worried? Like, it was kind of really fun.
right. Like, I'm not a big Valentine's Day person, if you guys recall from last year and the year before that, probably. I'm not a big Valentine's Day person, but Anthony and I celebrated Valentine's Day because I was like, I'm allowing this because you make every day feel like Valentine's Day is supposed to feel. So, like, we can, we can get into it a little. We can, like, wear the red and pink colors, and we can make, like, a
Just, like, have
fun
fun with
romantic
it.
dinner
Yeah.
and have some wine and whatever. And we did. The next morning, I was, like, just laying in bed when I woke up, like, thinking about it. I was like, oh, yesterday was so great. I had such a great date with you. And he's like, oh, I did too. And I was like, it was just so great. And I'm, like, talking about it like it's this, do you remember that time in 6th grade? But it was yesterday.
I literally think I do that every day.
Yeah.
Like, Steven and I literally, like, end of the day, I had so much fun with you today. That was so fun. Remember when we did this 4 hours ago? Like,
It was so fun.
But I mean, too, I think that was a thing. And we did this before we traveled full time, but especially when we were traveling full time,
Yeah.
life was so rapid speed that it was like, if you didn't take the moment to, like, really appreciate, today was a really good day and this was really special, like, it would just fly right by, you know? So,
To quote Ferris Bueller, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop to look around every once in a while, you might miss it. I think I am paraphrasing a little bit, but
I
it's
love
very
that
true.
you had a nice Valentine's Day. And, like,
Yeah.
that's why, I don't know, that's why I never want to hate on any holiday, because you can just always kind of really fun, even if it's small, like, really, really small, I think that it can be really special. I don't know. I think
I think
that
hate
sounds
was
really
such a
sweet.
strong word
Maybe
to
not
use
hate.
for Valentine. No, that I used for
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. Like, maybe not. I think
Maybe it's just not your favorite. And that's
it's definitely
okay.
not my favorite. I think that I always looked at it as like, and we went to Wegmans to shop for ingredients to make
We
dinner.
went to Wegmans too.
What time?
Well, we went to a random one.
Oh, I was like, were we there at the same time?
No.
But I'm like walking around like the produce section, and I see all these like guys schlepping through Wegmans with their bouquet of roses and their balloons or whatever, and I'm like, oh, here they all go. I'm sort of, I don't know, I think I have the propensity to be a little bit cynical, and I know this about myself, and I call myself out on it, but I was like, look at all of these guys doing these things because they feel like they have to, because like for whatever reason, in like, heterosexual man brain, like they wake up on February 14th and like some physiological event triggers and they're like, oh, gotta go buy flowers. I don't know.
Or do they, well, there are those, but then there are the ones that genuinely love their significant other and it's more of like a gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Anthony was like, do you want flowers? And I was like, no, buy me flowers on like a random Tuesday.
Yeah.
Let's just spend, like, I just want to spend the evening. Like, I want to just use this as an opportunity to do something cheesy and spend the evening together. And
I love that it's cheesy.
Yeah.
It's like the one
I
time
know.
where you can like lean in. Well, it's like Christmas lights and a Christmas tree. It's like, okay,
Right.
then like cheesy rom-com and bottle of wine and nice dinner.
Yes. I mean, he wore like a pink
Chocolate.
button-down shirt. I put on a red dress and tights with like little hearts on them.
That's cute.
We made dinner. He was like, do you want me to make heart-shaped ravioli? I
Yes.
was like, I didn't even finish that.
I
just
answered.
Like, he's like, I don't have my, like, we're not, we weren't at his house, so he didn't have like all of the accoutrement to make pasta and like sheet the dough and everything. But he made heart-shaped like chicken Milanese almost, but it was
Yum.
heart. It was like chicken in the shape of a heart.
Wow.
And
Romantic chicken.
it was like amazing. And we watched Julie and Julia.
Oh my God. That's so fun.
Like, I love a Nora Ephron movie.
We talked about that movie.
It's Stanley Tucci. It's
After.
Nora Ephron. It's about food.
We
like
love.
who
We watched Notting Hill. Have you ever watched that?
I have, but oh my God, not in so long.
I literally didn't know it existed, but it was so cute. Well,
Yeah.
Hugh Grant, number one, is precious
Yes.
in it. He's so, like, it's like
He's
90s Hugh Grant.
adorable.
It's so
Yeah.
pure. But, like, it was so fun to watch it because obviously we were in London for a month.
Right.
And they're like,
Right.
oh, the Ritz, the Savoy, and, like, Notting Hill. I'm like, oh my God, I know these places. I don't know. It felt
That's so fun.
it felt so cute and fun.
like
and
reminiscent. You can
Yeah.
like see this. That's so fun.
I felt like I was traveling a little bit, but also I got my like cheesy rom-com, and it was really fun.
Yeah, I
don't know.
think I'm just learning to lean into it. Like I'm learning to just lean into whatever. And we were talking about it and I was like, because I was trying to like wrestle with how I feel about Valentine's Day, and we were driving, I think, to the grocery store or something, and I was like, I think I just like to, like, whenever there's a cause for celebration something, I like to, and he like finished my sentence for me. He's like, you like to lean into it. And I was
Yeah.
like, yes, I'm learning to just lean into more things.
So celebrating love.
Celebrating whatever the thing is. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't have to be, like, I'm not Polish, but if everyone wants to do something for Dingus Day, I'll put some red on and we
have
can
some
have pierogies
pierogies.
about it. But, like, I don't have any connection to that. But sure, let's do it because why not? It's fun. So I think, like, just... And this is a very Orlando thing, too. Like, everything is an occasion there.
Yeah.
Like, everyone loves finding a reason to celebrate. Like, Taylor Swift is releasing a new album. Party.
Yeah.
It's...
at Krista.
It's National whatever day. It's National Pizza Day. We're getting
Getting
pizza. Like, whatever it is. And I'm like, you know what? Life is too short not to lean into those opportunities to celebrate in whatever, like, small or grand way you can. And I like to, like, make a thing an occasion. Like, okay, if we're going to do this Valentine's Day thing, like, then we should, wear the colors, have the dinner, get the wine, like, watch the rom-com and do all the things. So then I can create this, like, core memory around it. And now, like, I have this one positive, great Valentine's Day memory to totally cancel out all of the years that I was being cynical about it. And then all of the years where I wasn't, but I had, like, a not so happy Valentine's Day because of all of the mediocre men of the past. But
yeah.
it's a nice way of saying it. But I think, just was like, I want to make a memory about it.
Yeah. That's sweet.
So
I think Valentine's Day is... Amy Young said this on her story, and she was like, Valentine's Day really brings up a lot for people because we all have such deep subconscious beliefs about love and whether you are in a really happy relationship or you have been in cycles of not having relationships follow through or having partners with certain types of behavior or whatever. Like, it really makes you kind of... It's easy. What did she say? She said on the other 364 days of the year, it's easy to bury how you actually feel about those things. But on the one day of the year when everybody is celebrating the same thing, you have to kind of look at it straight on. And I was like, oh my God. Because I had years like that.
Yeah.
Like, so many. And I think, especially in, like, my early 20s when I just was having a lot of trouble grappling with, any heartbreak I had experienced, like, in those years. And I think the more the years went on, and I think that was one of the hardest things I ever had to, like, sift through emotionally. But then getting a little bit older, that's when I started celebrating it anyway, just like me and my friends or whatever. Like, I have this one memory where I went out to the movies, and it was I don't even remember what movie it was. Was it like a Rebel Wilson or like a Amy Schumer type, like, comedy Valentine's Day kind of movie that came out a few years ago?
The only Valentine's Day movie I know is that one with, like,
Taylor
everyone,
Swift.
and Taylor Swift is dating.
No, it was
what's his face from Twilight?
Or it was like singles, something, I don't know, something
Okay, wait a minute. Yes. I don't remember the title, but I know exactly what you're talking
Whatever.
about.
I went to Disney Springs with, like, a huge, like, a whole group of people were there. And then we went to Sprinkles Cupcakes and, like, made a whole night of it. And, like, that's still a core memory for me for Valentine's Day. And I'm like, that's really fun. Like, I'm glad that, there are other ways to celebrate it. Like, because at the end of the day, it's about celebrating love and, like,
Yes.
socially we talk about it as romantic love, but like
Right.
there's so many other forms of love, and I think if it was more focused on that, it would be an easier holiday because
Yes.
like
Because then, like, you would see people at Wegmans with flowers and balloons, and you'd be
Handing
like,
out
is
to
that
other
for my
people.
mom? Is that for, is that for that
Yeah.
person's partner? Is it for their mom? Is it for their grandmother? Is it for their best friend
Yeah.
who's going through a hard time? Or, like, whatever it is. Like, it would just be so much. It would feel like less of, like, an attack on that one
Pressure.
area of
Yeah.
someone, or pressure on that one area of someone's life that, like, there's an insecurity or there's, like, a wound that hasn't healed or something
Yeah.
like that. And I think that'd be great. But, like, my mom texts me Happy Valentine's Day every year.
Oh,
She used
me
to, like,
too.
send little Valentine's cards to me wherever I was living, and she
My
would
friend
get us,
Erica
like...
sent me a Valentine's
I love
card.
that.
Like I don't know. I think love is the most precious thing that we have on this entire planet, and I think it should be celebrated in any way that it can. And if Valentine's Day is an opportunity to do that, like relationship stuff aside, although that, like, I say lean into it, enjoy the heck out of it.
Yeah.
But like just celebrate love in any way that's possible, because it just multiplies from there, and it's so powerful, and it just feels so good, and it's so, I don't know, it just makes everything feel lighter and better and more, I don't know, cozy.
Yeah, I think Valentine's Day makes sense in February.
It really does.
It's gotta be
February has
cozy.
a weird, like, not weird, but February has an undertone of romanticism.
Is it because
in a
of
way.
Valentine's Day, though?
Well, maybe.
I think it is. I think
Yeah,
Valentine's
but if
Day
you
did
think of
that.
like a, well, now I'm thinking of Paris, but like if you think of like a dreary Paris on like a cold day, that sounds romantic to me.
Speaking of Paris and your
Yeah.
ebook, and you talking about Notting Hill and sort of like reliving that and like seeing those places, you've watched Emily in Paris, yes?
No, I have not.
You haven't?
No.
Okay.
Sorry if I just derailed
Okay,
the
because
conversation.
literally, like, talking about your... No, it's great.
I
You're
need
just
to
talking
watch
about
it.
your ebook and everything. I'm like, it's literally like, if you want to live your Emily in Paris dreams, like, you need the ebook. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's cheesy. Like, it is. It's
sometimes
cheesy.
cheesy's fun.
It's cheesy, but it's so fun, and you, like, unintentionally get invested, and
I
Lily
should probably
Collins'
watch
character
it.
definitely gets, like, a little Jessica Day annoying at times, you know, where, like, you're the main character of the show, but sometimes I just need you to shh, zip it, and let the other people talk. But it's kind of written that way, though, and it's just really fun, and it's light. Like, there's just not a lot of, I don't know, I think it's a good show for this time of year. It's cozy, it's light, it's fun, it's carefree, like, but it's, you know, shot all over Paris.
Might be a good watch, you know, while dealing with the, you know, job transition.
Yeah, I think so.
Honestly, we've been rewatching Friends because I just needed to get my mind a little bit calm, and I'm like, oh, a light watch is actually so soothing.
I think it's good too because, without giving anything away, like, the story sort of progresses with her facing these, like, big massive career shifts and having to
good.
start over and, like, figure it out and, like, figure out, like, okay, what are my strengths, what do I have to offer, and, like, you know,
Sounds
how
like
can
me.
I and there is a period where she has, like, a transitional, in the most recent season she has this, like, transitional phase, and she just super leans into it and has fun with it, and I think it might be, like, sort of a way to see your experience, like, in this external way.
I love that.
So I hope if you watch it, you like it, and
I do too. I mean,
we can discuss.
Everybody talks about it.
Yeah,
so.
it's good. It's easy to watch. It's easy to move through, and, like, the music is fun. You'll learn some French. You'll learn more French.
I love it.
It'll be I think it's just a lot of fun. Yeah. And
Cool.
you're working through The Crown, though.
Oh, I love The Crown.
I'm all caught up.
Guys, if you haven't watched The Crown,
It's so beautifully done.
It's a cinematic
I caught up,
experience.
finished season 5, and then I went back to season 1, and now I'm rewatching from the beginning. I'm like,
I think
most of the way through the first season again.
I think Steven's watched it 4 times.
Wow.
It's one of his top favorite shows, and he is like movie TV buff. Like, he's literally at the movies. He went this afternoon. He was the only person at the theater. Like, this kid's hardcore.
Wait, what did he go see?
some whale movie.
What?
She's gonna listen back to this and laugh.
What, a whale movie?
Something. Well, I don't know who do you say is in it. I don't even know what's up right now.
But it's about a whale.
Something with whales. I don't know. But it's not a nature documentary. It's a movie.
Just about a whale. Wait.
Maybe.
Oh, no, wait. That's about a bear. I was like, is it about the cocaine that falls from the sky? No, that's a bear.
I don't know that
There's
one.
a movie that's, I don't think it's out yet. I saw the trailer for it and I was like, this is real? This is real. Somebody actually was like, we need to make this movie. As far as I can tell, the premise is a bunch of cocaine falls from the sky and a bear eats it. And these humans encounter this bear who is clearly unwell.
Poor bear.
And I'm like, is this real? Is this a TikTok? Is this a fever dream?
Is this a TikTok?
This is a real movie that people spent hundreds of thousands of possibly millions of dollars on.
Sometimes I do think about that and
I
how
think
much
it's
money
so
is
fucking-
spent on certain movies, and I'm like, why?
But it got my attention, so...
Cocaine bears.
Cocaine
there you
bears.
go. There's a hook for you.
There's a hug. Spotify's going to be like, how do we categorize this episode? Because they're talking about the weather, and then they're talking about cocaine? Like, what?
It's very confusing.
It's very not on brand for us. I will just put that out there.
Oh, yeah, no. But anyway,
But I love that Steven loves The Crown, and I love that he's watching a whale movie by himself.
We love that, but
Self-care.
self-care.
Steven edition.
I hope you enjoy listening to this, babe. But anyway, every episode's like a or it's like a whole movie.
Yeah, it's a
so
lot.
dense, but it's so good.
So where are you
we're
now?
we're on halfway through season 3.
Okay, you moved fast. That's a lot.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We were plowing through,
Okay.
so we need to continue. I think we watched a lot, and then we kind of like diverted. We randomly watched Lord of the Rings a couple weeks ago. That was
Oh.
actually really
That's a commitment.
That was really fun. Yeah, it was. But
Wait, was that your first time?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Have you watched it?
Well, I have an older brother.
Oh,
So
duh.
yes, I watched
It
it.
was really fun.
when
It
I was
wasn't
young
that. I mean,
the
it
first
wasn't
time.
that bad. I
No,
mean,
it's
it was,
good.
It was 3 hours.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, I enjoyed it, but
I
I read,
enjoyed it too.
I read the books also when I was younger, because again, like whatever my brother was doing, I also needed to do.
Yeah, of
So
course.
it was like that phase of life where it was like, Michael's watching Jurassic Park. Okay,
Me too. Dinosaurs.
I'm 5, but sure. Scarred. Had
Yeah.
a nightmare about T-Rexes in
Oh,
my closet for like a
sad.
month. But it's good because now I had like context for all these things. And,
Yeah.
I think like of the like fantasy realms, like Harry Potter will always be my forever favorite. But
Yeah, we kind of compared like Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
but I think Harry Potter is number
just,
one.
like so
It
nostalgic.
was really
for
funny
me.
though. Lord of the Rings is like Gandalf is literally Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. Oh yeah.
It's so funny. And then there's a lot of Harry Potter and a lot of Game of Thrones like
Yes.
in Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, that's hilarious. But
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know. I had a couple comparisons, but now I'm forgetting them because it's been a couple weeks. But
yeah.
it made me laugh. But
Yeah.
I thought it was so beautiful. Like it was the Shire.
yeah.
Gotta go to New Zealand,
I know. Yeah, that's got to be on your list, right?
for sure.
Some
yeah.
unexplored, uncharted corner of the world.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It looked awesome, but
Yeah.
dang, those little hobbits had no idea what they were signing up for, I'll tell you that.
Okay, movie reviews with Jess, a new segment on Rediscover.
We really should.
Jess's hot take on movies she's somehow never seen.
This is so funny because Leah did the same thing when she had me on her podcast. She just
great.
let me go off about movies because I haven't seen very.
And she's seen everything.
Oh, I know. Her and Steven are my two, like, and Alicia too, are like the movie
gurus,
people in my
yeah.
life. And they get excited whenever I watch stuff. And I will say, in the past few years, since dating Steven, I will
You've
give
caught
him
up.
credit. I've watched a lot of stuff.
Yes, you have.
But my reviews are always kind of, unhinged a little bit. Cause
No, I love it.
You just, who knows?
It's
like,
great because
because I'm watching it in real time, like, whereas
Yeah.
people saw it when it was released.
Right.
So, like, it evolves. So, like, fresh eyes, fresh perspective. I'm like, oh my God.
right, like I watched Lord of the Rings when like that technology was amazing and like
Yeah.
ridiculous, and now I'm like, oh, that feels a little different now watching it as an adult.
It's so funny.
Huh.
It's cute, though.
Yeah,
Orlando Bloom was in it from, like,
Uh-huh.
early 2000s.
pointy ears and all.
He how do I describe it? He's like kind of like a deer. He's kind of just lights. He just kind of jumps onto things. It was pretty funny.
He's
like a gazelle.
he's Like, oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It was really funny.
Legolas is like a deer. Those hobbits sure didn't know what they were signing up for.
I had a lot of thoughts.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So now you have to make you did your Game of Thrones pilgrimage. Now you need to make your Lord of the Rings pilgrimage.
Holy cow. See, that's why I'm excited for my 30s. I bet I'll go to New Zealand in my 30s at some point. Manifesting.
Well, New Zealand's like, Australia is like, everything here could kill you. New Zealand's like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I think I'd rather, well, in Australia, like, that's the thing. They're like, everything that's living here might kill you.
I was like, what do you mean? Like the food?
No, like the animals. Like the creature.
Got it.
Like, someone like from Australia said that. It was like a comment on something, and I think it went viral, but it was like, yeah, just assume that everything that's living here could kill you.
A koala?
Well, I don't think there was an exhaustive list.
Okay, good.
They were probably they were exaggerating.
Yeah, I mean, the crocodile hunter was from Australia.
Also,
Rest
like,
in peace. I loved him.
Massive spiders and...
Oh, yeah, that's
I don't know. But people say... I mean, not
it's
that
like
Australia is Florida.
Steroids.
Hi, Penny. Did you hear us talking about animals? Hi, Penny is our special guest on Rediscover.
Hey, guys, I'm here.
She's sitting between
I've watched all these movies, too.
For better or for worse.
But I go to sleep at 9:30, so...
Wait, really?
Every night.
She just falls asleep at 9:30?
She passes out at 9:30.
That's so
on the
funny.
floor.
How old is she now?
6, which is insane because I just got her. But
you're in your 40s. How do you feel?
Oh, stop, Christine. I still look great.
Penny just came in here to ask when Steven's coming home because that's really all she cares about.
She's like, actually, he usually feeds her around now, so that's are you hungry? Well, I'll feed you. I'll feed you soon, but
what's for dinner?
Probably the same thing I have every night, but it's my favorite.
It's only my favorite because I've never had anything else.
Except I always ask Jess for her food.
Okay, I kind of love this. Let's narrate Penny's thoughts.
I literally... So this is a peek into my life. I talk for Penny every day, all day.
If you don't talk for your dog, I'm concerned about the quality of your relationship with your pet.
I think I just channel her thoughts, really.
Yeah.
I don't think we're separate. I think it's just...
Yeah.
I'm just Penny's voice.
I used to do that with Ginger her entire life.
Yeah.
And currently I am pup sitting. I'm pet
Golden
sitting.
retrievers, right?
There are 2 golden retrievers and a cat. Molly is the cat, and then the golden retrievers are named Cooper and Ollie. And Anthony will narrate Cooper's thoughts in this, like, sort of slow voice. It's so funny. It's so funny because for whatever reason, Cooper's the older one. He's not old, but he's 7. But he's the older of the 2, and he's a little bigger.
I'm 6.
He's like bigger and like a little broader in the shoulders. He's a big boy. Yeah. So he has a deep voice. And then Ollie is like younger, skinnier, whippersnapper, like boundless energy. And for some reason we decided he talks really fast, but is always a little stuffed up. Like just has like a little bit of a sinus thing going all the time. Which is not true, but I don't know. It just happened organically, and now we just narrate their interactions, which is very entertaining.
Are you Ollie's voice?
I sometimes do Ollie's voice, yeah. But now I narrate for Rosie, my mom's little puppy.
She's cute.
Who's a little wiggle worm. She's so cute. She's
little.
So little. It's so cute. But my mom will do her voice too, and it's like
I can only
the
imagine.
most precious thing. I'm like, Mom, I hope you know that Mom, if you're listening, I hope you better be listening. Hello.
I Sue, love you.
Love you. When I was like, Mom, when you narrate Rosie's voice, like, it brings my heart so much indescribable joy. Like, it just makes me so happy.
Oh my gosh.
It's so cute. She's just like the wiggliest, spunkiest little girl.
That's so cute. We got so many dogs going
I know.
on. And your sister has a dog,
and
too.
my sister has Poppy.
Oh, she's cute.
She's a golden doodle. She is so funny. She can stand on her hind legs for like an inordinate amount of time.
What a queen.
So smart, but it's funny, she like has my sister's personality a little bit. Like, I feel like they're kind of the same.
That's really funny.
They're both like, I have this routine, okay?
Is she like her soulmate dog?
I think she is so crazy. I mean, I wasn't there when they met, but like, she was describing it to me, she was like, Kristen, like, the instant this dog and I, like, locked eyes, like, we were connected. Like, she won't leave her side, and, like, when she leaves, Poppy just whines and whines and whines and, like, waits for her to get back, and for whatever reason, it's just, like, you are my human. I am imprinting on you.
Yeah.
It's us forever. But it's been so good for her, because I think, you know, my sister's had a, you know, a hard year for many reasons, but, like, losing Ginger was, I mean, it was so hard for all of us, but my sister was very little when we got Ginger. We had her for 14 years. So I think, you know, losing her and being there, like, when it happened was very traumatic for her, and she just, like, needed that comfort of, like, a dog. Just, like, having a friend. And Poppy came along at, like, the absolute perfect time. And now they're best buds. It's great. That. It makes me so happy for her.
She is really cute. I remember seeing, I was like, oh my God, Sarah, like, did your mom get a new dog? She's like, no, it's mine. It's mine. I'm like, oh my God, I love that for you.
Yep. It's so funny because none of these dogs are actually mine, but I have, like, 6 animals in my life consistently.
There's so many doggies.
There's so many doggies. Hello, Penny.
I know. I feel like Penny is just, like, she's my dog, but also my family's dog. But, like, I don't know. She just kind of, she's everyone's dog.
She's just, that's the great thing about a golden retriever. They're just, they want to be where you are. They're such people dogs.
I know. We had, Taylor and Julian came to visit, too.
I saw her story the other day. I was like, are you in Buffalo?
Yes.
She, like, posted about, like a wing crawl or something.
And I
was
posted,
like, excuse me?
I posted nothing, but I have a reel. It's very fun. I'm going to probably post it tonight. It'll be up by the time this episode's up.
I was like, ma'am, next time you're here, tell me.
I know, but they came really just for the weekend. But they brought their dog Bruno, and he got to hang out with Penny and their best little friends.
I love that.
And he's so funny. He's like Legolas too, because he jumps in the air into he jumps into Julian's arms like bing. Oh my god, he's crazy, but he's so cute, and he's still a pup, so it's good for Penny because she's very prim and proper at her age now. So Bruno brings a little spunk to this house. Yeah, which I think is good.
It's good for you
Penny,
to have a
Penny
friend.
Penny was raised by cats, so you know she doesn't really go out of line.
So was Poppy, and it's definitely like you can tell because like Ollie and Cooper are like da 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 da. Penny would literally, I'm just picturing Penny watching them like just run around.
She would just be like, no,
are we done yet?
Yeah, she'd be like, Steven, can you take me home?
This is a lot. Yes. Like this is just very extra, right?
It's so funny.
I would like to leave.
Yes, she doesn't even, when we take her to the dog park, she hangs out with the humans. So.
Yeah, and they're so sweet.
And like, they're so snuggly.
Ollie will come and just lay on the bathroom rug while I'm getting ready in the morning, just to be where I am. Like, he will wait until I'm done and then leave. And, like, anywhere, if I go up the stairs, he follows me. Like, he is my shadow. He is everywhere that I am. And Cooper's that way with Anthony for whatever reason. Like, he just only loves Anthony. We call him Uncle Tony.
Oh, so cute.
The way that Cooper looks at him, I'm like, should I be jealous? He just looks at him with this, like, sparkle in his eyes, like he's never seen anything so wonderful in his entire life.
I can relate to that sentiment with this one.
What else do we have to touch on? Do we have anything else?
Oh my gosh, I feel like we've gone all over the board. I love this, though. Like,
I know, it's so nice.
There's just a lot to talk about. We've talked about our dogs. We've talked about television.
We've talked about the weather and cocaine bears.
We talked about job transitions, travels. Do you have any upcoming plans?
I do.
What's the life looking like?
I do.
Coming up here?
So I'm gonna be back in Orlando for part of March, and then back up here, but like still back and forth a bit until April, and then Anthony's coming to Orlando.
Yay!
They're closing the restaurant for a whole week.
Oh wow!
Woo! We love mud season.
Yay!
And he's gonna come down, and then we're gonna do a little road trip. He has never been to Savannah or Charleston, and
two of your faves.
Been around for a while, you know that I love both of these places. You also know that I have like thought to myself I could live in these places. So for research and just for fun, we're gonna spend some time in Orlando. We're gonna drive up to Savannah for a couple days and drive to Charleston for a couple days. and just kind of do the trifecta. So
Just go about the scene.
yeah, it'll be fun.
Go to Collins Quarter again, please,
Yes.
because I've been craving it ever since we left.
Yes. Yeah, I haven't been to Charleston since 2018, and I haven't been to Savannah since 2020, and he's never been to either place. So it's been fun. We've been looking at Airbnbs and like getting restaurant recommendations from people, and just I'm trying to like put together a little list of the things I remember. And he was like, my one request is just like wherever we go, we like do things there, whether that's an experience or an activity or something we eat or whatever, like that I just can't do anywhere else. Like that is so
Ooh.
quintessential to that place. And I'm like, that's a good like travel goal. Like
Yeah.
whatever we do, like we just need to make sure that like whatever experiences we're seeking out there, just like the quintessence of the place we are in.
So no laser tag.
So yeah, like maybe we're not gonna like go to a movie theater, or if we are, it has to be like some ancient historic one or something like that.
Those are cute. Those exist.
Like no chain restaurants. That's like my big rule when I travel. Is
no
like
Chili's.
no
Pizza
like,
Hut.
I need to only eat like things and at places that I can't go anywhere else. So
That's a good
that's
rule.
been a fun thing. And we're just kind of like piecing together some loose plans, but I'm very much like, I just want to like see like I want to have ideas of things to do, but I really just kind of like to let it happen too. And he's that way as well. So yeah, that's going to be fun. And like just the like getting to plan it, because we haven't really ever been able to take a vacation together, because time off for him is like next to impossible. So and the long distance thing obviously is a bit prohibitive, so it's just exciting to be like, oh, we get to like plan this thing together. And yeah, it'll be fun. And then pretty much after that, it's gonna be like summertime. I'm gonna be dog sitting for my mom while she and my stepdad go on vacation, so we'll get some quality Rosie time.
Yay.
So Rosie content is coming.
Can't wait.
And then it'll be summer.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. So basically, it's just right around the corner. It's basically already summer, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, essentially. So yesterday's glimmer of February, spring, summer.
I don't care what the groundhog says. It's summer.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But that sounds
That's it.
really, really fun.
I'm excited.
Savannah and Charleston are just such fun little cities to do.
And I didn't want to do anything like overly, like he just needs like a break. Like he's just exhausted.
Yeah, you don't want to like drag them through like a crazy intense thing. Like something, they're both very slow paced, enjoyable.
And being able to drive and like have the car and like all that stuff just feels much more chill than like, okay, we have to fly here and then here and whatever. It's just so much easier to just like pack the car and go.
Yeah, it's so nice. Oh, my cousin's in Charleston. She might have some fun
Which
racks.
one?
Dea.
Oh my God, Daya's a grown up.
She's a grown up. She has a really cool interior design job and lives in Charleston. And is so
love
cool.
that for her.
I know, she's the coolest.
Like, to me, she's 10 years old, but like I love
I
that
know.
for
And
her.
like last year we saw her in Florence when she was studying abroad. Like she's doing some really great things.
So cool. Wow, good for
Yeah.
you, Daya.
I know.
Oh my gosh, I should message her. Oh my God, it's so bizarre to me to like
know.
imagine a grown up Daya.
I know. Everyone's so adult now.
Justine's getting married.
I know.
Wild. Anyway.
So we're all just here aging slowly.
Oh my God, I saw a Nick Miller thing today, and it was like, good morning, everyone. Just a quick reminder, we're all dying.
Oh my God.
I was like,
Thank you.
yep, you're not, it's just the like matter of fact truth of that.
Yeah.
Just basically means we need to do some more living.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
and that means being cozy sometimes. Sometimes living means doing nothing and just
my
existing. And that's okay. Sometimes you're just Penny, sitting on the floor, begging for affection. Waiting for my dinner.
Waiting for my dinner because Steven's at the movies.
What even is the movies?
I don't-
We have movies here. Why does he have to go somewhere to find a movie?
I don't get it, guys. Where is he?
Why would you ever want to leave this place?
Don't you
It has
love me
everything
anymore?
you need. Me.
me, and only me.
And also
and
me.
And Tig.
And take.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Tig is my diabetic cat, if anyone's wondering.
I feel like people should know that by now.
Yeah.
Like, Tig's been around for as long as I've been around.
It's kind of funny. I just literally call him my diabetic cat, and that's, like, how people know him.
No. His diabetes is not his identity.
I know, but he's so cute. He's, like, a little old man. Not talking about pets again. I am literally a pet lady now.
Me too.
Because I'm house
That's
sitting.
how I feel. Same.
Yeah.
We are both in this, like, house sitting for other people and their pet. I mean, this is, like, your family pets.
I know, but it's still like,
yeah.
My parents love to just go somewhere warm in the winter. So
I love that for them.
It works out that we're here this year because they don't have to worry about any of the pets. But then I turn into a crazy dog and cat lady.
Yeah,
kind of like it.
It's so funny.
It's cozy.
It is cozy. It is very cozy. It's so weird because when I'm back in Orlando now, I'm like, oh. I like wake up in the morning and like no one's scratching at the door, you know, barking to go outside and have breakfast. And it's like I have like a slow morning. I'm like, this is weird. Yeah. I feel like the McAllisters when they're like late for the airport, just running up and down all around the house. Like,
oh my God.
Just in my slippers, just shuffling around.
Honestly.
Making sure all the animals are fed, watered, and alleviated.
And then by the time I'm done with it, I'm like, well...
I put in a full day's work.
Now I'm already awake and also ready to go back to sleep. But yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. So anyone out there who is a parent and a pet parent,
I know. And then I do this for these
three
pets, and I'm like, what's gonna happen when it's a person?
Oh, I know.
When it needs to be fed more than twice a day.
You mean
weird?
Multiple times in a day.
And it cries instead of barking. Mm-hmm. And every cry means something different, not just pay attention to me.
Oh my God.
What am I going to do?
I hope the instincts kick in.
But it's funny because, like, I've started to pick up on, like, oh, you know, this is how they tell me they want to go outside. Because they don't, like, they're not the type of dogs that, like, go sit at the door and bark to go outside. They will, like, just interact with you in a certain way that, like, I'm like, oh, this means they want to go outside. Or, like, oh, yeah, if this means look at the clock, yep, it's almost their dinner time. Like, I'm picking up on, like, their little nuances. So I'm like, maybe it is just, like, an instinct that you develop. I really think
a lot of it's instinctual.
Yeah.
Well, and, too, like, I feel like with a baby versus a dog, like, you're spending every second that you, like, physically can with this other person. Like, you're going to start picking up on it, you know? Like, what they're signaling.
We're going to listen back to this after we have actual
like,
kids. We're going to be like, we thought we knew things.
Wow,
That's so cute.
We thought we were so smart. But
that's so cute.
Oh my gosh.
We're just going to be sitting here on your floor, like, with those baby...
and they'll be talking,
like, Sollies, and the babies will just be like, we'll just be doing one of these, like, trying to get them to stay asleep.
God, I really hope we're still doing Rediscover by then. I mean, it's not going to be that far off in the future.
So do you mind if I breastfeed while we record this episode?
No, this is a safe space.
Great. Sorry, kids gotta eat.
Oh my God. Wait, that would be so funny to, like,
then and now.
To take a clip from this episode and then, like... then put it with the future.
Stick it next to, like, an audio file of one of our children screaming.
Oh anyways.
Just, like, the toddler phase, they're just running around the house screaming, Mommy is recording! Keep it down!
But we'll probably be even more unhinged by then.
I love that.
I love it.
My Gemini-ness feels comfortable in an unhinged space. Take that door right off its hinges. I don't need it.
What is the part? Oh, it's probably my Capricorn rising that's more, like, rigid. That makes me always want to have everything really, like, in order.
Yeah.
And, like, the perfectionism.
It's so funny because I am all air.
Yeah, you're
so
Aquarius moon.
And Aquarius rising.
I need to learn more about Aquarius. I don't know too much.
We're just like all...
I know that Aquarius is our weird question mark. That's the only definition
I know that they're weird.
That's the only definition.
That's so funny because this morning I was like, I don't think I'm that weird. He was like, no, you're not weird. I was like, oh, maybe I'm a little weird. He's like, I don't think you're weird at all. I was like, okay, all right. He's like, it's good because whatever your weird is, like, vibes with my weird. It's like, yeah, but if I'm not weird, like, I was almost, like, offended. I was like, well, I'm weird. I'm weird enough. Like,
yeah. But I don't know. Like, do you think? I feel like everyone's a little bit like weird, right? So it's like you kind of
also,
mesh
like,
with people who are similar like vibes to that.
Also, like, define weird.
Yeah, like
Weird is just relative to your epicenter of normal.
right.
Like, whatever you define as normal, weird is anything that deviates too far on either side of the spectrum from that.
Right.
So, yeah, weird is totally relative, and I don't feel like I'm just all air signs. But Aquarius is a little more like, if an air sign could be grounded. And it's so funny to me that, like, I have so much of that. But yeah, I am just
That is
all
funny.
air. Anthony is Cancer Sun. I told you we did his chart. Cancer Sun, Pisces Moon, Sagittarius Rising. And it just makes all the sense in the world to me.
Wait, Steven's a Sag rising too.
Oh, yeah, I think you told me that.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I'm explaining to him what all these things mean. But
I have
it was
a lot
like
of Sagittarius in my life.
after he got home from work. And so he's just
He's
like laying
okay.
there. And I'm like, and your Pisces moon, blah, 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 blah. And then I just look over and he's like, he just fell right. I was like, it's like I'm reading you a bedtime story. And the next morning I was like, hey, do you remember me telling you about your chart? And he's like,
No.
I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't really get past the first part.
Well, he's an Enneagram too, right?
He is.
So Cancer and Enneagram. I feel like Enneagram
See,
2s
that
are
makes
Cancers
sense
often.
to me.
Yeah.
Like, being a Gemini and a 1 makes no sense. Being a 7 and a Taurus makes no sense. Like,
well, I think the 7 in Sagittarius makes sense, like from my moon,
but for Steven to be a Gemini and a 7 makes all the sense in the world to me.
Yeah. That's sense. What am I saying?
That's sense.
That is sense.
I think.
I
even
wonder,
like,
yeah.
my friend Danny is a 7 and he's an Aquarius, and like that even makes a little sense to me. But
Well, what would a 1 be zodiac wise? Typically, would you think a Capricorn maybe?
I mean, a 1 is motivated by like reforming things and fixing things and bringing things into order.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably an earth sign, just for the the sense of familiarity and stability.
Maybe I don't know Virgo too well, but maybe Virgo.
Oh, probably. I think a Virgo
Virgo
could be like an 8 or a 1.
Because Virgos love routines. I think I saw. I'm so bad. I don't know thoroughly the ones that aren't my
Right,
own.
because like the thing you interact with is yours.
And Aries, because Leah's an Aries,
Yes.
and I just she talks about it all the time, so
Yeah.
now I know it.
Well,
see,
and
everybody
mine
just
is
talk about your zodiac so I can learn them.
Yeah. Tell us what you know about your zodiac. And I think some are just more popular. Like, the Gemini is the most notorious because everyone wants to talk about how unhinged a Gemini is. And, like, we get it.
And I have so
You
many.
think we don't know this? We live in this brain.
I have so many in my life, and I love them, so.
They keep life interesting. I'm an unpredictable person trying so hard to establish predictability.
That's fair.
But it's fun. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
I love it.
I don't know.
We're always rediscovering new
We're
things
learning.
about ourselves here.
What's Penny?
Oh, she's born August, I think 16th, I want to say.
Was she a Leo?
Is that a Leo? I think so. Which would make sense.
Liz Moody is a Leo.
Penny, August 17th, so
I think she's a Leo.
August 17th zodiac is a Leo. Of course, she's a freaking Leo.
Mm-hmm. That makes so much sense.
She
to
loves
me.
herself.
She does. She does. And why not?
And why not? She's the most beautiful creature in the world.
I need to hang out with more Leos.
I know.
Might increase my own self-worth.
You know, you can do it on your own now.
Thank you.
Because you're so lovable.
Thanks, Jen.
You're welcome.
I have these people in my life just consistently now, just the way my life is, like, between like doing Rediscover with you again and spending more time with my family than I usually get, and like obviously Anthony. I have like this constant contact with all these people who just like make me feel so loved that like it's accidentally making me feel like I might be worthy of love, and then I like do this thing where I'm like, I don't deserve this. I have to do more to earn it, and it's just this like cycle.
See, but you don't. You
No,
just
I know.
are inherently.
I
And
know
that's
that.
so-
I just can't like always embody that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, a part of me knows it, but there's also a part of me.
I think it's just your human conditioning. I don't think
Yeah.
it's like actually you.
Yeah.
Because you, like your highest self, is like knowing, like like deep in your core, like I am whole, worthy, and complete as I am right now.
I don't have to try.
No, like you can literally do nothing and like you're still worthy of love.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do anything to be worthy of love whatsoever. Like you just
Yeah.
you get to receive love because you exist.
I think that's a thing I'm learning
that's
about
really
love
cool.
too. Maybe to tie things up for February, even though this episode's
Yeah.
coming out in March.
I feel like we're always going to be talking about the previous month.
Right.
But it's like a recap. It's a
Right.
reflection.
And this comes out in the first week of the month, so it's not like we're not into daylight savings yet, kids.
Exactly. We can have a
think-
whole 20-minute discussion on that. Just
Oh my
kidding.
gosh. But like we might need to. That circadian rhythm gets whoosh.
Yep.
I think it's a thing that I'm learning about love, like specifically romantic love, and I just say that because it's something I've learned from being with Anthony, is that like Anthony just like loves me the way I am. Like whatever new thing happens, whatever comes his way, he's like, all right, we'll sort it out. I'll like apologize for like schlepping around in like pajamas or something like that, and he'll be like, amore, like what? He'll like do this thing, like what? Why are you apologizing?
How
Like,
Italian.
I know.
You didn't see the Italian hand
Yes,
gestures.
the hand. Never bend the wrist, kids.
Oh.
Stays. No, it's strong. He's like, you apologize all the time. Why are you apologizing?
I get
for
the
this?
same feedback.
Do you?
I do.
You apologize for like shit you
Stupid
definitely don't need to
stuff.
apologize
Yeah, now
for.
I'm like hyper conscious and I am like
I didn't
still
realize
do
I
but-
did it. I mean, I think women, we just
yeah.
apologize for existing a lot.
Yeah.
And we
No, it's
say
true.
things like, I feel like this, or I think this, instead of being like sure and
Yeah.
saying like, this is how this thing is.
Oh, I know, and I backtrack on myself all the time, and I'm like, what is actually true? What do I actually believe?
Yeah.
Like, I gotta...
Yeah, I think that it's just something that, like you said, like, yeah, I'm just hyper aware of it now, and I'm like, I'm sorry for saying I'm sorry. Like, I apologize for apologizing now. Like, you're right. I don't need to apologize for the fact that, like, I haven't had time to brush my hair yet. I don't need to apologize for, like, not wearing makeup today because you think I'm beautiful without it.
Yeah.
It's just stupid stuff like that.
It's just cool that we
It's
can
very
just
freeing.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh,
I don't have to do anything.
You really don't care.
No, like,
It's not that you
genuinely.
don't see it. It's not that, like, I think some people are like, men don't know the difference. I'm like, no, he's seen me put my makeup on. Like, he knows what I look like with it on and with it off. Like, he just doesn't care. It doesn't change anything for him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
That's cool.
So, like, a lot of time spent, and money, and energy spent on fixing all of these not problems could have been spent on just living.
Yeah.
I know. Penny, right?
She's like, what the heck?
She's like, bitch, I know I'm fabulous.
I'm a Leo.
I'm a Leo. I'm the main character. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, no, and I don't know. I really love that whole saying, like, you're a human being, you're not a human doing.
Oh my gosh.
Because
I've never heard that.
oh my gosh, I can't believe I've never said that on Rediscover. But like,
Say it again.
thank you, Penny. I hope you can hear that. She's like, I agree. But yeah, no, you're a human being, you're not a human doing. Like, you don't have to do anything to be worthy of
Yeah.
love or anything. Like, you
Yeah.
can just be yourself. Like, you're not really put on this earth to do something. Like, you don't have to come check a box. Like,
Yeah.
you just, like, you're here. Like, of course we have our survival things that we need to do to stay alive.
Like, drink some water, please, everyone,
Drink
right
some
now.
water, you know, take care of your health. If the least you can do is just take care of yourself on the day-to-day, like, I still love you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're still worthy of love.
right.
And, like, I think we're also, like, put in this situation, like, socially where we're such, like, we, like, want to be the best at things, or, like, high achievers, or everyone's, like, seems so successful, and, like, but we only see their end product, and it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Like, I'm nowhere near that. Like, I'm this age, and I'm not, you know, I've done nothing.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, this sports player's 22, and they're already, you know, so professional, whatever, like, whatever it is, or movie star or whatever. But, like, you don't have to do that to be, like, a lovable, wonderful human person. I don't know. I just,
Yeah. And I think it really does turn into this thing where, like, the people that will love you as you are, the people that will say by the way that they treat you and by their actions, like, come as you are the people that are, like, meant to stick with you, like,
Yeah.
move through the seasons with you, because there will be people that want to be with you when everything's great but don't necessarily know how to hold space for you when everything's not. And those are the people that you're like, okay, I can keep you sort of in this like outer rim, and like we can be acquaintances, we can even be friends, but like I can't count you as one of my like, you know, hardcore stand in traffic, here's my kidney people, because
Yeah.
you don't have the capacity to love me where I'm at right now. And like where I'm at right now is I'm someone who needs to surround myself with people who can do that, because of, you know, if I'm working through a hard thing, or if I'm, you know, in a season of change where I'm trying something new and I need that support. You need to be able to look around and say, like, these are people who are going to champion me when I don't know how to champion myself. And I think that's something that, like, you might be experiencing right now. I'm definitely experiencing right now. And that is where you look around and you're able to, like, find that actual real unconditional love from not just your romantic partner, but just anyone in your life, friends, family, whatever.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is empathy, but it doesn't have to be. Like, you don't have to have gone through what the person next to you has gone through to hold space for them and to just allow them to show up with whatever they've got.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like love is really more about holding space and trusting the other person to, like, express and go through, like, whatever they need to go through. Like, you don't necessarily need to, like, twist yourself into, like, a pretzel to, like, empathize with them, like you said. Like, being able to be like, you're going through this and I know it's really hard, but like I am here for you and I love you, but you know, giving them the space to go through that process whatever way they need to. And like, nobody's perfect. Like, they're not going to go through things like completely unscathed sometimes. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, how do you support them through that? And a lot of things are out of people's control, and it's like, all you can really do is just love them. Like, let them. Like, people are going to go through mental health waves. They're going to go through, you know, things that, like job loss. It's out of your control, or you're grieving something, or whatever it is. And, like, even if, you know, their moods change, or their emotions are extreme, or they're just, you know, happy one day, like, really sad the next. Like, it's the most... from experience, like being in that position, like the most supported I felt is when there was just people there for me that are just, they love me no matter what the day looked like, or what I'm looking like, or
they love you the same.
Yeah, it's like the same amount of love. Like, it's not altering because of my behavior in that current moment.
Yeah. That,
you know,
resonates so much with me.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's something about being like the lighthouse in a storm. And that is what love is to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you could just keep your eyes on that thing, like, you're going to get there. And I think, like, on a spiritual level, like, we get so many mixed messages and so much, like, really skewed messaging about, like, what, like the love of, like, God, call it God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, or Jesus, like, that whole concept of, like, this unconditional, unbiased, non-judgmental, come as you are love. It's very true. And that is a positive experience I've had on, like, my spiritual journey, is, like, encountering this messaging surrounding that higher power that's, like, you had to do nothing because your work and your efforts and, you know, how you show up in the world, like, those were never factors in your salvation. Those were never factors to determine your worthiness, like, either to acquire good things in this life or to experience, like, peace in the next, or whatever it is. Like, nothing that you do is gonna buy you into that. Nothing that you are, no status that you achieve in this life is going to make you worthy of this thing. You were already worthy of it because you were created with even more intentionality and more, you know, depth than the trees and the animals and, you know, the sun and the moon and the stars in the sky. Like, you were so much more unique and elaborate than those things. And if those things can inspire, you know, awe and wonder and be literally, like, worshipped and adored by generations of human beings, then why do you think you are so unworthy? And that's something that, like, you know, it's hard to wrap your head around because there's so much that, you know, has to be kind of taken at face value there. And it's hard to compare yourself to all of those things and come up with, like, yeah, I am more worthy than the stars in the sky. Like, I am more unique than that. No one can say that, and, like, well, maybe Penny can. Maybe a Leo can. Like, I can't get myself to believe that about myself, but then to think of, like, being created, like, in, you know, it's obviously like a Christian notion, but, like, being created in the image and likeness of the creator of the universe. Like, okay, this being who brought all of this magnificence into being thought the world needed me too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then maybe the world needs just me as I am and not whatever idea of a better me that I've kind of probably internalized from what I've been indoctrinated into, what I've observed, what my cultures deem valuable or successful or beautiful or whatever. But that might not be true in another context. It's so funny how we put so much stock into that. And, like, I sit here and say all of those things even though I know I spend more time thinking the opposite.
Yeah, but I think you really just, I don't know. I feel like I saw when you were speaking to that, like, you tuned into, like, your higher self, your higher knowing, and it's like, you know that in your core. Like, the higher self version of you knows that, and the human brain, like, all those indoctrinated thoughts and perspectives, like, those can run in the background, but at the center, to have that faith and to have that knowing is so powerful.
Ooh, that's been a while. But remember we used to say knowing with a capital K?
Yeah, I love that one.
What was it? The Glennon Doyle thing. That's not an us thing. That's from Glennon. But it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that concept, and it's given me so much peace.
Mm-hmm, me too.
That I think knowing that the same force, the same energy, the same being that created all of nature, created us, and, like, we're all one and the same. And I think that is so beautiful. I think that is the most beautiful thing. And, like, God exists in all forms, and it's all around, and it's just...
Yeah, and, like, God exists, like, and the universe is embodied by you and by me. And, like, if you think about that concept of, like, being created in an image and a likeness means that you reflect that light as you are.
Right.
You don't have to do anything to make that light brighter or dimmer. It's just, like, this inextricable part of you.
Yeah. And I think, like, at least for me personally, like, I'm constantly in this state, or in this, like, mindset of, oh, I need to fix this. I need to fix this about my health. I need to achieve this at my job. I need to do all of these things to be a better person. I need to take on this perspective because then I'll be better. But I failed to take inventory of what I already am like in this present moment, and to just take a moment and take a pause and look at that and be like, whatever that is right now, that is enough. And I will grow and change and evolve, of course, and maybe into things that I like, maybe into things that I would, want to change again. But in this moment, if I can accept that who I am right now is worthy and enough, and all of those validating things, like, I just have to choose to believe that at, like, 0.01%.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, it doesn't have to be a full 100% yes. It just has to be this tiny little minuscule thing, and that is at least a little bit more peace than I had a moment ago.
Yeah. It's like what we said before about just trying. Like, trying is good enough. Trying is showing up. Trying is putting forth your best effort. Even if it's just a little bit. That little bit grow. You build on that. Like, it's a little bit today, and then a little bit more tomorrow. And then, it's not always linear, which is a thing I'm really struggling to grapple with, because it makes so much more sense to me for things to be linear. If I'm putting in consistent effort, then this should be consistent growth that I see.
Oof, yeah.
Right?
Well, what is the quote? Healing isn't linear.
Yeah.
And, like, you can apply that to anything.
Yeah.
And, like, I think I realized that in, like, I think the first time I really realized that was, like, around 2013, 14, like my early Disney days. And I was like, what? I like did not understand the concept. But it's given me so much peace, you know, after, you know, going through many phases of life, and especially with like a chronic illness phase. It's like, oh my God, like I don't have to beat myself up for this. Like, okay, there's dips and ebbs and flows, but we give things meaning. Like, things don't really mean anything until we assign it a meaning, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, what's a good example? Like, somebody who has a job, like, let's just say someone who works in, like, car insurance. Like, some people would be like, oh, that's cool. And, like, somebody who's really into car insurance would be like, that is so amazing. How did you get there? That is so wow. And it's like, but it's the same job, you know?
Yeah, your perspective.
You could do it with anything. Like, just swap out car insurance for, like, whatever. But, like, I think it's really interesting that, like, we assign things so much meaning. And it's like, if you take away the meaning and just look at, like, whatever the thing is. Yeah. It's like, oh.
I think I learned that at Disney, because in the bubble of Orlando and the smaller, like, subculture of Disney people, and then the even smaller subculture of, like, Disney cast members, the role that I had at Disney was, like, this very, like, coveted,
I should have just straight up went for that example. I don't know.
Right? This very, like, rose-colored glasses, like, coveted thing. Yeah. And so everyone in that culture was like, oh my gosh, that's it's on a amazing. Pedestal. Yeah. Tell me all the, like, tell me your favorite stories. Tell me all the things. And then I would come home to visit, like, here, and someone would be like, you do what for a living? So you, like, play dress up? Like, they didn't get it, and they were kind of confused, and also, like, you took time off from school to do that? Like, just didn't even understand why a person would want to do that, let alone understand, like, you know, what made everyone else, like, so enamored with the concept. Yeah. So it was just these very different, like, totally black and white perspectives on it. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So then I was like, okay, I get to decide how I feel about this. Like,
I was going to say, like, that just gives you so much evidence. Like, you can do whatever you want to do, because people are going to react in whatever way, like, applies to their background and their perspective. So it's like, the most important thing is to do, like, what seems most aligned to you and actually makes you feel like you're, you know, doing something that you enjoy with your life. Like, everyone has a perspective and gives it a meaning, but if it's like your life, why would you give them the power to decide what you do with your day-to-day?
I remember feeling guilty because the rose-colored glasses came off for me, like, earlier than I expected. Ugh. I was like, I'm not supposed to feel this way about this. Like, I'm supposed to be like, I'm supposed to, like, get out of bed every morning. Like, I can't believe that this is my life, and go to work. I'm not supposed to be like, oh, I'm tired. I wish I didn't have to work today. Yeah. You know? And it would be things like that. And then I sort of started to realize that the things I looked forward to about it had nothing to do with the glamour of it or the, like, spotlight. It had everything to do with the people that I got to meet, or the people that I got to work with, and, like, the sort of unique way I got to exist for those people. Mm-hmm. And, you know, after a few years, I was like, this is not a thing I want to do for much longer. Yeah. And then there are some people who do it for, like, 10, 15 years, and they love it, and then there are different aspects of it that they connect with. And that just wasn't going to be me. But for a while, I felt guilty about it, because I spent more time in the culture of people who were like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky. And I was like, you're right, I am. Why do I feel this way about this? I shouldn't. But that just wasn't my reality. And I think that you create your own reality, and you have, whether you want to or not, you have to hear the voices of the people around you, because a lot of people have a lot of unsolicited opinions about your life and what you're doing with it. But you still get to decide, and you know in your gut, like, how you feel about something. But I think when I stopped caring about making anyone else happy and about the way I was supposed to feel about the thing, and I just got to feel the way I felt about it, I felt so free to do what I actually wanted to do with my life. And that all worked out really well. So I do think that, like, perspective is everything, but you can distill that down into, you know, what truth is. And somewhere in between all of the noise and the opinions, like, that truth that is yours and only yours always prevails. And being able to speak that to yourself about your job and your worth and your relationships and your health and all those other things is what makes all the difference and prevents those things that you don't want to become your identity. Like, and I think we can say this because neither of us work for the company anymore. I don't have to be a Disney princess anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my identity anymore. And even when it was my job.
Yeah.
And, like, that's okay. It can just be that. For some people, it feels more like an identity. For me, it feels like a really great privilege that I got to have that was a way to make a living and put myself through college.
Yeah, it was a season of life.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that thing I posted yesterday, the Selena Gomez
Uh-huh.
quote?
You were like, I feel seen.
Should I read it? I feel like I should read it.
Yes.
And, like, this is no shade to Disney because obviously it served us so well, but she sums it up here.
I don't think you would either. We wouldn't change a single moment of that because
I wouldn't. I loved every second of it.
And it has been so necessary to, build the trajectory of everything that has happened since.
I wouldn't be who I am without
No.
it. And that's the beautiful thing. And I still love it. Like, I still enjoy being a guest and being a consumer.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I definitely have a different feeling of it now than I did 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Like, I've morphed and changed, and, there are some things that feel like sore spots right now. I'm not going to completely lie and say that. Like, I feel like the past 2 years particularly, I've been a little bit
jaded.
Yeah, and just a little, I don't know. There's some disappointments and, like, some twinks.
But it's like, and I think I've said this about Disney before, possibly on Rediscover, but, like, it's like any relationship, right? Like, there are going to be sticky moments. There's going to be, like, stuff the other person does that maybe upsets you or disappoints you or doesn't mesh well, but you sort of have to muscle through it and then, like, decide what kind of power you're going to give that thing over you and, like, come to some sort of reconciliation and then move forward.
Yeah, and I think it's such a beautiful thing because you can still love Disney, you can still enjoy it and consume it and go to it and do all those things, but, like, there can be more to you.
It doesn't have to be who you are.
So exciting.
I remember my mom saying that when we were in high school. She was like, Kristen, like, Disney is your whole personality now. Like, your whole identity is Disney. Like, what do you like besides Disney? And I was like, Mom, what are you talking about? I like all these other things. Like, why are you so determined to ruin this for me? And she wasn't. She was just like, hey, I'm seeing you go in this direction where it feels like you have this very, like,
one-track mind.
Homogenous personality. Like, maybe you should consider these other things. Like, it's just, my mom is a very, like, I'm getting to the core of the apple because time is money. Right. And that's who she is. She's not going to skate around it. She's going to, like, come right at it with a flashlight in your face. And she was right. She was absolutely right. And
but, like,
she,
if
like,
you didn't go,
often is.
Yeah, but if you didn't go through those motions, like, I don't know.
I don't think she thought, like, by saying that she was going to change anything. I think she just wanted to, like, plant the seed of, like, hey, maybe we consider other stuff too. Yeah.
Just maybe. Yeah, and, like, I would never regret those because, like, I call, like, Princess Jess, like, my Disney era, obviously, and it's, like...
Disney Frump
and Princess Jess, like, I love them, and they had so much fun for that time, and, like, it was a season, and it was such a special season, and it was... I think if we didn't have that passion, we wouldn't have taken the life trajectory that we did, and we wouldn't be where we are now. So, like, why would I ever, scorn that part of me? But I think I just want to be who I am now and have that be at the forefront, and
hence the Rediscover rebrand,
and, like, being able to step into this new chapter of, the road just traveled, my entrepreneurial business ventures. Like, I want that to be at the forefront. And I think it's also hard too when your Instagram is very, like, Disney swayed. Like, I noticed that, like, the posts that are Disney do this well, or the posts that have Disney hashtags do this. And I'm like, that's not my focus
you've
anymore.
Trained your algorithm too, right?
Exactly.
So it's going to take some time
to
like with anything. I mean, it takes some time to, like, heal from stuff. It takes some time to move, to feel permission to move forward, to feel like that, courageous moment of like, okay, I can do this. I'm just going to do it. Like, I remember the day I changed my handle from Disney from to Positively Kristen. I was like, I'm just going to do it. You know what? And I do this. I get to this point where I'm like, you know what? We're done talking about it. We're just doing it. Close my eyes. I'm going to do it. And then, like, I'm going to hear the things crash and shatter and break. And then I'm going to look and be like, okay, you know what?
Clean it up.
That wasn't that bad. Where's the broom?
Yep.
Yeah.
Love that.
Let's keep going.
Yes, exactly.
What did Selena Gomez say?
To quote Selena.
Let's tie it up with Selena.
Yes. So in her Vanity Fair interview, the interviewer asked, "You previously said you were haunted by the idea that people would always associate you with your Disney years. Has that changed?" And Queen Selena said, "I definitely feel free of it. Sometimes I get triggered. It's not that I'm ashamed of my past. It's just that I've worked so hard to find my own way. I don't want to be who I was. I want to be who I am."
And that is so precisely exactly, I think, where we're both at.
Reading that, just like, it made my like insides feel like relief. I was just like, yes, like an exhale.
Like, I need to be free to be who I am now. And all of those things from the past are a part of me, but this is now and that is then.
Yeah.
And what's coming is coming. I can't change the past any more than I can affect the future, but I can be here now as I am.
Mm-hmm. And that is enough.
And y'all can take it or leave it.
Yeah, seriously. And that's another thing too. Like, I've noticed over the past year transitioning, like on Instagram specifically, like to go more into the algorithm, but like, it's like you gain the same amount of followers you lose.
Yeah.
Because it's like this cleansing cycle of, oh, you're getting more aligned people, but you're also losing like the ones that were not aligned. And I'm like, that is so interesting. Like, it's like an energy thing to me from my perspective. I'm like, energetically I'm shifting, and it's showing that through numbers, which is wild to see.
It's like a measurable.
Yeah.
Like, you can collect insights and data on your own energetic shit.
I know, and that's really cool.
It is really cool, but it's also like, you know, something that we forget to like ask for grace about. Like, we're so afraid to do it. We're so afraid to do it. And then we finally do it. And then we get defensive, right? We're like what I just said, take it or leave it. Like, whatever. I don't care. And the reality is, like, I don't love the idea that, like, there were so many people who only cared about my journey because it involved being a Disney princess and they were interested in that. And then when I stopped being one, they were like, oh, you're boring now.
Yeah, that's sad, but
that
like
sucks.
But also, like, I know that's, you know, that feeling, like, at least for me personally, it's like, it's an ego thing. Like, you know, your ego's like, oh, that's a blow. But also, again, transitioning to higher self, it's like, okay, I only want people in this space who are here to elevate and lift up this already beautiful energy. And if you are not on that vibration, then it is okay if you leave. And like, transitioning into that mindset is huge for me. Yeah. Just to be able to manage it. Because it is a transition. It's, you know, it's not easy.
And just to realize, like, I didn't actually ask these people to be here. Nobody signed a contract. They're free to leave, just as I'm free to leave
someone else's space.
Any digital situation that I'm no longer happy with. That's fine too. I didn't ask you to be here.
Yeah.
So
you don't have to be, and that's
like, the door is open. You can come in or you can go. You can stay a while and then leave. Like, that, there's no troll under the bridge. Like, and set these riddles 3. Like, just show up or don't.
Yeah. And if you are here, we welcome kindness. And that's my other thing. Like, having those digital boundaries of, okay, anything that, you know, again, is aligned and is kind and is, you know, we're cultivating a wholesome energy over here. We're not, like, going off the walls.
Right.
We're
not trying to be overtly controversial. We're just trying to challenge those indoctrinated thoughts and challenge our own beliefs and challenge you and ourselves to, I think, in a society that's becoming increasingly ambivalent and increasingly detached because of all of the time we spend interacting digitally and remotely, to like really rediscover the humanity of it and how we can actually use these platforms and these spaces to affect human kindness and to do really powerful things. And I think that's, you know, what I'm focusing on for 2023 as far as like cleansing my, you know, digital environment, is only surrounding myself with the people and things and accounts that serve that purpose or challenge me to better affect that reality. Mm-hmm. And hopefully that's what we're doing here.
Yes. And I think that is a great place.
2 hours later. Wow, she's a long one.
Yeah. So, like we said last time, since we're on a monthly basis, you get longer Rediscover episodes now and more fluid, more chaotic, and more us.
Unhinged.
I like it.
Like a true Gemini.
Yeah. And I feel like the more we do this, the more comfortable we're going to get. Like, I already feel so much more comfortable today than I did last time.
Oh, for sure.
I really like it. And again, like we said last time, like, I love that this is fresh. Mm-hmm. In the moment, these are the thoughts that are on our minds right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's almost like a little time capsule of...
I know.
Our time capsule episodes. Maybe we're in our time capsule era.
We're in cozy time capsule era.
Oh my God, I love it. So...
It's great.
Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
We went from weather to spiritual insights to... identity.
Don't forget the cocaine bears.
Reformation to cocaine bears. Like
we're just all over the map.
Honestly, so that's what it's all about. So thank you guys for being here again. Thank you for your support. And I just want to say this straight up. Thank you to everyone who has already purchased the ebooks.
Aww. Y'all are great.
I literally...
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. I literally dance and like every time someone purchases one, and I'm just so happy to be able to share what we learned with you, and it's so cool. Like, I feel like I'm stepping into
you are lit up right now.
I know, like, I'm stepping into doing what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing.
I love that.
Like, I want to contribute to this world on a more personal level, and that's so cool.
It's such an exciting feeling.
It is. So let's take that energy into the next month, and we will talk to you guys soon. And I'm already looking forward to our next conversation.
Yeah, we'll see you at the beginning of April. Wild.
Oh, that's so weird.
I'm so excited. Yeah, just stay cozy, be well, take care of yourselves and each other, and we will talk to you soon.
We love you guys.
Bye. Outro, take 1.
Thank you for joining us. Oh, hold on.
Outro, take 2.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Rediscover.
If you haven't already subscribed, hit that button and join the Rediscover fam.
Come back on the first Tuesday of every month for brand new episodes.
If you're like us and you have opinions about everything, leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. Your positivity inspires our creativity, and we love hearing from you.
Follow us on Instagram at JessicaFaye508 and positively.Kristen.
And check out Jess's blog at theroadjesstraveled with 1l.com.
Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye!